Hey everyone, it's Grant Asplund here. I'm just getting into my car, starting it up, getting ready to go drive sales, as I know many of you do every single day. I just thought it might be helpful to provide you with maybe just a quick run through of some things to make sure you ask, some questions that are a good way to start. I'm going to get out here and let me roll my window up here so we can avoid that traffic noise. So here's the thing. This is a space that there's a lot of uncertainty in. And the fact is, if you go into your client, chances are very good that you could be sitting around a table with a dozen of your customers and ask them, hey, will you describe a firewall to me? And they'll all come back with pretty close to the same answer. But if you ask, hey, will you describe the cloud? You're going to get 12 different answers. It's really, really arguably misunderstood. Certainly the shared responsibility model is misunderstood. So it's imperative to go in discovery mode, in asking questions. Find out how long they've been using public cloud. How much are they using public cloud? Are they using more than just one? And which ones are they using? What are their growth plans? What is the direction that they're going to be going? So get a good understanding of what they have before you start showing up and throwing up, as they say. So once you've kind of got a lay of the land on their public cloud environment and what they're using, you know, the thing that's important to understand is, according to a Cloud Security Insight report, the three biggest challenges to cloud security are visibility, compliance, and privileged user management. So find out, how important those are to the customer. Ask them to rank them. Is visibility more important, or is access management more important? And explain to them why you're asking, because the fact is there's very, very poor visibility with the native tools provided by the cloud providers. So once you ask them to kind of qualify what's important to them, ask them how they're getting visibility into their environment, how they're getting visibility into the traffic, into, throughout, and out their cloud environment. And ask them, what are their biggest challenges when it comes to managing security groups? How are you monitoring the configurations of those security groups? Because the fact of the matter is, there are very poor tools, especially if the customer is in a multi-cloud environment. And so this is what you want to find out. So once you've kind of dug into the visibility and really determined how important visibility is and whether or not they're obtaining any, then you want to move to compliance, because virtually every organization that's using public cloud has compliance concerns. And this is a big deal, because you have to remember, unlike the fixed data centers, public cloud environments are more like, our galaxy. They're expanding, they're adding additional resources and services every day, and our customers need new tools designed for this new environment. And that's exactly what CloudGuard Dome9 provides. Move to questions like, would having the ability to enforce a specific configuration from changing be valuable, right? This is the tamper-proof option that Dome9 provides. So if you want to make sure that any new storage is created, that it always has encryption, you can identify that so that if someone creates storage that isn't encrypted, it'll go back and reconfigure itself. This automation is absolutely imperative, and it's precisely the kind of thing that CloudGuard Dome9 provides. Find out about their shadow IT environment. Find out if they have a good handle on all the groups, all the team members, all the various organizations within their company that are accessing and utilizing their cloud? Do they know about all of them? It never fails when we ask that question. Generally, the manager or the senior level person says, "Oh yeah, we know it all." But when you get down to the person who's a lot closer to having his or her fingers on the keyboard, they'll reveal that, yeah, the dev group, yeah, Jim's group. There's oftentimes this sprawl, this creep, that they have no idea what's going on. And this puts in great jeopardy their compliance. So the thing to remember is compliance is so significant because it's a constantly moving target. And that's what makes compliance so challenging. And when you're talking about this environment that literally is expanding and changing and is ephemeral, where you may have resources that are only up and available for an hour or two, you need to have innovative new tools that can enrich the data, the logs, provide you with the critical information so you really understand what's happening in that environment, so you really understand how secure you are, how compliant you are, and whether or not there are any fails in your compliance configuration. Now, one of the things that is a significant gem in CloudGuard Dome9 is our GSL, our governance specific language. So this is an incredibly powerful tool enabling our customers to modify, customize, and make razor sharp, just for them, their compliance configurations and policies. It's incredibly powerful, and what makes it all the more powerful is it's so accessible and easy to use. You don't have to be a developer. In fact, you just have to point and click. We provide a really convenient playground where you can create compliance policy and then test it and find out if it will pass your test. It's very, very powerful and makes it really great so you don't have to guess when you're putting it out into the environment. Now, one of the things that's very popular in some of the organizations that maybe are more advanced in their utilization of the cloud are using things like CloudFormation to build out their environment. So ask them, hey, would having the ability to assess the security posture of the template before it's deployed be of value? Because this, again, is one of the things. Think of it as like Minority Report, where we literally can see into the future before we're actually pushing and rolling out that configuration to the world. Very powerful, really, really significant. Now, you can get in deeper when you start talking about things like VPC logs. And so ask, are you using VPC flow logs? And then if they say yes, ask them how long it takes to identify an asset that maybe is dropping traffic. And if having the ability to richly visualize the data flow between assets be of value, would that be important? Because this is something customers just don't have. Now, a lot of people, they're more keen on alerting as opposed to automatic enforcement. But one of the powerful things about CloudGuard Dome9 is that we do have the ability to automatically remediate if something gets out of whack, if something is out of compliance. Because remember, we're not just compliance, we're continuous compliance. CloudGuard Dome9 is continually interrogating and investigating and checking your cloud environments. And mind you, this is not just one cloud environment. This is across all three of the major players, Amazon, Microsoft, and Google. And to be clear, today, those are the three environments that we support. There's talk of trying to potentially add an additional cloud vendor or two. Somebody like Ali Cloud has been discussed. But I think our strategy is to work more on building parity in terms of feature set across all three of the public clouds. And again, to be totally forthright, you need to understand our maturity level with Amazon AWS is greater than that of Azure and that of Google. And I would put it in that order. Now, we're rapidly working to, again, get that waterline equal across all of the products, but that's not the case today. So be cautious when you see a capability or a feature that is supported in the AWS environment. Don't just automatically assume, hey, this is going to be in Google too, or this is going to be in Azure too. It may very well be. It's certainly on the roadmap. But again, today, Amazon is a bit ahead of the others. So, besides EC2's Elastic Compute, are other services such as RDS, S3 buckets, ELBs, ALBs important for you to protect? Listen, ladies and gentlemen, you need to remember, these are not physical load balancers. These are not physical servers. Everything's software, and everything is the potential to connect to the internet. And it's because of that every one of these new-aged resources literally represents an attack vector, a threat vector, both from someone on the outside, but then also remember, one misconfiguration can bring the whole house down. As Zohar likes to say, this is a one strike and you're out environment. Now, I know you've all heard the statistics from Gartner, right? That at least 95% of cloud fails are going to be the customer's fault. At least 95%. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all of them. Everybody. It's going to be the customer's fault. And so we need to ensure they understand that the cloud providers are going to build a superior data center to any of our customers. It's going to be far better. And so we need to make sure they understand that clearly, although they think they understand the shared responsibility model, they clearly don't, because statistically it just doesn't bear out. And the other thing that's very interesting is, 451 research last year showed that more than 50%, in fact, 52% of all enterprises polled had zero cloud-certified professionals on staff. So I find that quite remarkable that every analyst is telling our customers they're going to be the ones to screw up, but yet none of them or less than half of them are investing in any kind of training. So remind your customers, go to Amazon, look up Cloud CBT. There's terrific cloud certification available for all of you, but also for all of your customers. So when the other thing to ask about is what compliance they need to adhere to, what standards they're using. Is it PCI? Is it HIPAA? Is it NIST? Or do you have custom policies? And this is where we again highlight GSL and the ability to truly fine-grain, detail, and customize the policies that we want to enforce for compliance. Now, you can ask them, hey, do you have the ability to generate any kind of documented proof of compliance today? This is often a big deal. How often do you need to generate compliance reports? Is it a requirement? Find out these questions, because one of the things that's unique about CloudGuard Dome9 is our continuous compliance can provide an immediate, instant snapshot of health with regards to compliance at any time. Now, the other thing you should ask about is just find out is if monitoring compliance within your S3 bucket environment is important to you. What you'll find is compliance is a big, big concern. And then finally, the thing that is often misunderstood about the cloud is, unlike the physical data center, where you have a super user that really means he's got a keychain the size of the janitor with keys to every system in the data center. When you give those same powers and controls to a super user in the cloud, you're giving the keys to the kingdom. And there are 1,800 different services that can be modified. 200 of them are not they're irrevocable. They're not there's no undo. This could be catastrophic. So this is the third pillar that I was talking about. It's our IAM safety, our ability to add an additional step for the super users within the environment so that if they do something like delete a database, they have one additional step. Instead of just clicking OK, you want to delete, yes, and then it's gone. This has saved many of our customers. They've told us in their fatigue, they've inadvertently clicked OK, and then we're so happy that they had Dome9 CloudGuard, CloudGuard Dome9, because what it did is it gave them that extra stop confirmation so they could say, oh, this was a mistake. I don't want to do this. So I'm hoping this was helpful. I know I haven't covered everything. I'm just about ready to get out of the car and go visit my customer. I wish you all the best of luck, good selling, and make it a great day. If there's anything we can do, let us know. And I hope you have a great day.